Hi, welcome to my book sanctuary. I'm Bianca and I wanted to give you a library tour. So with this library tour, I'm going to do it a little bit differently than I've done library tours in the past. We're moving, which is really exciting. It's also a little sad, but we're moving, so I need to start packing up this library. So this is going to be the last time I show you this room and the way it looks, I guess, and yeah, until we move to a different library. But with this room, it has changed over the years, definitely. I originally had different bookshelves and then ended up updating them to these to these Billy bookshelves. And yeah, over the years, I've definitely added way more books than we started with. But I wanted to show you some photos that I have of the past of some of the progression of the library. So with the photos, I wanted to just basically show you how the library was and what it looks like now. And then what we're probably going to do is unhaul a few books. So this might be quite a long video. I'm not really sure yet. I'm also not sure when you're going to see this. So there is that. I will show you everything we have in the library. Hello. So I thought we'd show you the book cart. Now with the book cart, please ignore all the power cords and the extension cords over there. But with this one here, this is my book cart, which I honestly think all the books on here are going to go. So Colleen Hoover, I have very mixed feelings about Colleen Hoover, so I don't think I'm going to keep these books. I have read maybe someday, or at least half of it. And from what I can remember, I didn't overly like it. Haven't read Verity though, but honestly, I don't think I'm ever going to read Colleen Hoover, so goodbye. Then Sylvia Day. Sylvia Day, I think we're going to get rid of as well. I wasn't a massive fan of the Crossfire series when they first came out, but then I thought I'd give them a chance again a few years ago and reread them. And I ended up getting them all second hand. And whilst I didn't mind the series on my reread, it still isn't my favourite thing. And I really don't like the way the series ended, actually. So there is that. But then we have some other books I wanted to get rid of. Some Vivian Jackson. Not Vivian. Viner Jackson. So Viner Jackson, I'm going to get rid of these. This is I think BDSM series, if I remember correctly. Same with Secret Pleasure. This, I think, if I remember correctly, is another BDSM book. Then Indigo Bloom, I believe, is a Match Point, which I believe is a tennis story of some sort. Don't hold me to that, but yeah, I think that's going to go as well. Beautiful Disaster and Beautiful Liar. Yeah. Bastard. We're also going to get rid of. And Tortured. And Explosive by Beth Carey. Oop, you can't see them. But we're going to get rid of the whole lot. So, let's pile them all up. I also have very mixed feelings about this book, Not Your Damn Omega. Not because I don't like it, I actually love the book, but I already have a copy of it somewhere. Yep, over here. So as you can see, I've got a copy of it somehow, don't ask me how, but when I went to a book signing event, I ended up getting this one, which was signed, and then I also got another one. So I got 2 copies of the same book. And I don't know, I might need to get rid of them eventually, because I really don't need 2 exact copies, but it is signed to me, so I don't really know what to do with it. I don't know if I should give it away or not. Dilemmas. So over here is the forgotten shelves. I mainly just call them that for shits and giggles. There's no reason why I call them that, really. But up here is a bit of miscellaneous books and most of my mass paperbacks. Down here on this little shelf, I think the whole shelf is going to go. Outlander series, I actually haven't read them. However, I did end up watching the TV show, the first, I think, 1 or 2 seasons. I know TV shows are generally much different than books, but from what I've heard in reviews and whatnot, I think there is a lot of sexual assault in this series, and I just don't think I'm ever going to read them. So I don't think I need them in my collection anymore. And honestly, I think they'd just be better off with someone else. So I'm going to probably donate them. I think actually what I'll do is I'll put them in there's like a free library not far from where I currently live. And so I might put them in there. But then there's the Tiffany Rice series, and actually when I think about it, no, they're staying. Quite enjoyed The Siren, The Angel, The Prince and The Mistress. Can't remember what The Absolution is about, but I do enjoy Tiffany Rice's writing. So, and as for Megan Hart, I think those ones are going to go too. I haven't picked them up in years. I think I mainly read them in my early 20s. Spoiler alert, I am not in my early 20s anymore and haven't been for quite some time. So, yeah, I don't think they're going to stay either. Then I've got The Time Traveler's Wife at the back there and Captivate, which I actually think I was going to unhaul, but then decided not to, but still haven't read it, so it really should go. So that shelf is probably going to be unhauled, except for Tiffany Rice, the Siren series, this lot here, so they're going to stay. As for the rest of my books on these 2 shelves, I'm going to keep them, I think. I've got a small, sorry for the weird angles, but I've got a small collection of manga and, yeah, just a lot of romance books. But I think what we'll do is keep all of these. Let's have a look at these. We can see Harry Potter hiding in the closet. I don't have a closet under the stairs, so I didn't put them in there, but I will keep Harry Potter. Now, down here, looking at this, I've got some overflow of George R.R. Martin, because I've got some here, and just a couple of his other books down there. We're going to keep Neil Gaiman, we're going to keep The Hobbit, we're going to keep The Lord of the Rings, obviously. We'll keep George R.R. Martin as well, because eventually, well, fingers crossed, he'll finish the series. So then I want to reread the whole series once he finishes it, if he ever finishes it. I doubt it, but you never know. Dune, which I actually haven't read yet, and I think I really want to. More than one book in the series, so we'll get there. The Historian. Now, that is a actually really good question. Should I get rid of this? No, it's going. Those books, this little pile of books here, are never going to leave me. I got them when I was 11 years old for a birthday. I'm missing 1 or 2, and they're not in the best condition anymore, but we'll keep them. They're like little classics. Then we have some Jane Austen, which I really liked. Jane Austen. And some Peter Pan. J.M. Barrie and Edgar Allan Poe. I really like Edgar Allan Poe as well. But yes, we'll keep all of them as well. Now, as for Narnia, keeping the Narnia Chronicles of Narnia, whoops, but The Witcher. Again, not really sure what to do with this series. Haven't read them. Picked them up one time, intending to pick them up and read them, but haven't yet. So, yes, I think we will keep them because I will read them eventually, hopefully. Then up here is some more classics. We'll keep all of these. We love The Secret Garden, Little Women, Dracula. Some Norse myths and tales. We've got some classic works from women writers and science fiction and fantasy. I'm pretty sure I was given that. And then up here, we just have some more Alice and Wonderland and some other stories. And then just a few more classics. Peter Pan again. And, Wizard of Oz, Black Beauty, Phantom of the Opera, The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes, Anne of Green Gables. I loved that series when I was a kid. Aesop's Fables, The Jungle Book, and The Brothers Grimm. So we'll keep all of them too. So basically out of that whole shelf that I have here, so we'll get rid of this one. And as for my main shelves, honestly don't think we'll get rid of anything in the main shelves. I'm such a hoarder. So I packed away some manga and a few classics before I realised I should have shown you the books, which was my plan, but I completely forgot. So, So I'll have to show you them when we unpack them at a later date because I'm not unpacking this box. But I do need to put a few other little knick-knacky things in the top of this box. I can't fill the boxes up completely with books, otherwise it's just too much. So yeah, I'm going to show you some packing probably in a time lapse. go. Yay! So the library is all packed up, all the junk has been packed up, all the books have been packed up, all my dragons have been packed up, and I do know that this is going to be a very long video, so if you have stuck around for this long, I am so grateful. You have no idea. It's taken me a lot longer than I thought to get this all edited because I individually took each book out, and so it's taking me a lot to edit it. This video is probably going to be really, really long. I am sorry about that, but it is what it is. I don't think I will be doing this ever again. I will obviously show you a library tour again in the future, but I really don't think I will individually show each book again, or not for a very long time. Just because it's taking me a lot to edit it, and I just didn't realize how long it was going to take me, and yeah, it is what it is. But the rest of the house is pretty much all packed up. My library is pretty much all packed up, and yeah, I'm a little sad, but we've been here for nearly 8 years, or a bit over it actually, a bit over 8 years, and I guess it's next chapter, next adventure. And yeah, my library is going to be a little bit bigger, but probably a lower roof, so it's going to be interesting. I really don't have much else to tell you other than I am so grateful that you've stuck around this long, that you continue to watch my videos. If you keep coming back to my channel, I am so grateful. If you haven't already subscribed, I would love you to do so, but all good if you don't. You do you, boo. And yeah, that's the end of the era, the end of this library. And I guess it's time for the next adventure. And I will eventually give you some sort of tour with the new library. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate you. And I just want to say to those people that keep coming back, there's about a dozen or so of you that keep watching my videos. Thank you. You guys keep me going. I would probably lose motivation if you didn't continue to watch these videos. So thank you. I'm getting emotional. I'm going to love yous and leave yous, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks everyone. Bye.